Welcome to Full Send into Adulthood, hosted by Dr. C.L. Amundsen, a former professor, dean, and certified life coach. This podcast is for you amazing young adults and is a go-to for all things adulting. Join us for conversations about what matters to you, including navigating the often overwhelming ride of adulthood, redefining what's possible for yourself and your communities, and creating a life that you are proud of on your own terms, even if nobody else is doing it. We're igniting a movement where you change the game and challenge the marginalization that often comes with being a young adult. Ready to feel better about this adulting thing? Let's do it.
Hello, y'all. Welcome to this episode of Full Send into Adulthood. This episode is going to be specific to college and university students. If you are about to go, you're thinking about going, if you're already in it, this will be helpful. What is the focus? The focus is going to be the purpose of the university is actually to serve you. We are going to use an analogy today relating a restaurant to the university, and you will get the essence of what I'm trying to throw into your faces. What am I trying to throw into your faces or into your gorgeous ears? Is that, I will repeat, the university, the purpose of the university, aka the purpose of a job, can also be to serve you. What do I mean? They are there to enhance your life. University and college ultimately is just a tool. You look at the things that you're interested in, you look at where you want your life to go, pathways, interests, whatever it is, possibilities, opportunities, and based on what you see there, you get to use university or college as a tool to say, do I want to go and do this thing because it will enhance an area of my life? Do I want to go do that thing because I see value in doing college, university, maybe even a job, because it'll fulfill something that I am curious about or wanting to do in my own life? We tend to not think of college that way. At least that's not the story that's being sold to us. The story that continues to be sold is like, yay you for getting into our university. And I think that subconsciously it enters our brains. And one way that this affects students that I see often is that they believe, understandably so, they believe that the university has all the answers for them, that they can just go on Autobot mode, do whatever the university says is best, and then they leave with whatever they need. Y'all, if that's the way that you do college, university, and even a job, you will be sorely disappointed at the end, because it is honestly at the very end, it's going to feel like a business transaction. You pay for services. Services are rendered. And in the case of college or university, you graduate and you're on your own. That relationship is over. So if you did not get what you set out to get, if you are not even conscious or clear about why you are choosing this tool called university or college to enhance your own life, y'all, you're wasting a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of energy. So let's not do that. So here's an analogy that I think will help. So we're going to assume, just for this podcast, that there is a restaurant that we have been seeing over and over and over again, and we really want to go. It's all over our social. It's over in France, Italy, New York. Choose your destination. It's somewhere where you are going to travel to. So you're going to travel to this place. You've been thinking about it. You've been wanting it for years. And you're finally going to go. So you hop on that airplane. You head over to Paris. You head over to New York. You head over to LA. You head over to Dubai, wherever this restaurant is at. And you get to that restaurant. And what is your expectation? What are you hoping for? What are you intending? It's to make the experience the best possible experience for you, is it not? Which means that if the host seats you somewhere They seat you by the bathroom, by yourself. You have no view. Would you take it? You flew all the way to freaking Dubai. You spent 20 hours in an airplane. You found the restaurant on a map and you walked your ass over there. Would you accept sitting next to the bathroom where it smells being by yourself with no view? Probably not. You would ask to move. You may even tell them your story. You may even say, I flew 20 hours to get to this restaurant. I would really love to wait to make sure that I get this table. Can you see that you would advocate for yourself there? Can you see that your experience matters there and you would actually speak up for yourself? Now, what happens if they place you at a table of 2 and you've actually planned your friends to come and there's 6 of you? Would you all try to squeeze around this table that has 2 people? This table that is for 2 people? When there's 6 of y'all? No, because it would lessen your experience. It would make it less fun, less comfortable for you. So again, you would say, dudes, that ain't good enough. I expect 6 people to sit comfortably, and that is what we're going to do. So if we use this as an analogy for college education, what I really want to reiterate is that there are going to be opportunities, there are going to be people, there's going to be networking, there's going to be experiences that you can have at this university. But ultimately, you get to gauge it. If it does not fit what you are needing or hoping for, you are allowed to say, you are allowed to switch classes. You are allowed to pick a different major. You are even allowed to change the dang college that you are at if it is not a useful tool that enhances your life based on what you want. Let's go one step further with this analogy. We are now going to order food at this restaurant. Now, again, you've been waiting years. You've been seeing all of these reels. You have an idea of what you like, what you don't like. You know your preferences. You know if you have food allergies. There are a lot of things that you know about yourself that can you see that the waiter in the restaurant does not know about you. So they ask you to order. Would you go and be like, whatever you think is best is fine? Probably not. And even if you did, the waiter at that restaurant will probably say, okay, please tell me more about you. Do you have any preferences? Do you have any food allergies? Are you really hungry? Do you want a big meal? Do you want a small meal? Do you like tapas? Do you want a drink? They're going to try to find your preferences. Now, in this analogy, let's switch out waiter for advisor. Now, I know advisors are trying to do the best that they can with the 175 students that they are also servicing. Ooh, that sounded sort of strange, that they are also working with. So do they care about you? Absolutely. But they don't know all your food allergies, all your preferences, all of your educational history. They don't know where you want to go. They don't know what you're interested in. They don't know what you're curious about. They don't know how you love to learn. They don't know how you want to learn. They don't know any of that. Of course, you're going to be able to tell them some of those things, but not all. So just like a waiter, you get to say what you want to eat. In that moment, you get to actually change your mind. You get to go to school thinking that you're going to be an accounting major, and you get there and say, actually, not for me. What I really want to do is environmental science. Great. You get to hear from a variety of clubs and organizations in this school. Again, those are opportunities for you. And you get to say yes to this, no to this, don't really love this, but I really want to do this. Don't see what you like. You could actually ask and say, has this thing ever been created before? Let's do it. And if you're like, does that ever happen at a restaurant? The answer is yes. If you saw something on a reel, let's say you saw this amazing salmon dish that you've been dreaming about, and you get to their menu and maybe it's not there anymore. You get to actually say, I saw this amazing salmon dish that I've been dreaming about. Is there any way that they can make that in the kitchen for me? See what they say. Again, y'all are going to get sick of me saying this, and it's going to be on repeat, but it is an opportunity that is in service of you. The experiences are in service of you. Can you see who is the main focal point here? It's you. You are not doing them a service by being at that school. Let's be real. They're going to be fine with or without you. That's the heart, that's like the gut-wrenching truth. So you may as well make the best of your experience and the money and the time that you are spending there. Okay, so we're going back to the restaurant. We're back in this analogy, and you are going there for dinner, and you find out that they have a prefixed menu. What is a prefixed menu? It is a menu that is already set. Now, for the purpose of this analogy, we're not going to do the Parisian style, the French style lunch menu, because a lot of times those are easier and they're faster. We're going to do dinner. Why? Because dinner, the set menu, is usually 5 to 7 courses long. It tends to be standardized. So you're going to have a certain amount of things that you are going to eat. You sometimes have a choice of the main meal. You can have a choice of the dessert. But other than that, you are agreeing to all 8 courses that are set out for you by the restaurant. Now, at the university, they may not have a prefixed menu for food, but they do have that with your course schedule, with the progression that you're going to take. They have an idea of this is what it could look like to get this major over the next 4 years. So if you went to that restaurant and you saw that they had a set menu and you didn't like 6 out of the 8 items, can you see that you probably wouldn't order that menu? Also, let's say that you see that there's this prefixed menu and you know that it's going to take time. Right? It takes time to eat 8 courses. A lot of times they also do it with wine tasting and wine matching. That's not what it's called. Pretend that I'm a sommelier and I've got the right words. But let's say that you know that you actually only have 1 hour to eat at this, or an hour and a half to eat at this restaurant because you are partying afterwards. Can you see that you wouldn't do the prefix menu? That is the same for university and colleges, y'all. Is they have a template. They're saying, this is one way of eating at our restaurant. This is one way of doing the university experience. This is what we have found works. These are the courses that you take in this order. Here are some electives that you can choose from. But y'all, if it does not fit your palate, guess what? You don't have to do it that way. You can switch it up. You can choose different electives. You can take more classes. You can take less classes, because what that template of a course schedule does not take into account is your time and your energy. They don't know if you're working 2 jobs or not. That's being a full-time student. You may not be able to get financial aid for all of those classes. It does not take into account how much financial aid, how many classes you're able to take in any given semester. They're assuming full-time. Perhaps you're able to go more than full-time. Perhaps you want to do this thing in 3 years and you want to graduate in 3 years. So you're going to up it, and financial aid is okay with it. Guess what? You get to add and you get to change it. Why else may it not work? Maybe you want to go over the summer. Maybe that actually works best for you. Maybe your work is only paying for a certain amount of classes. Again, y'all, based on your circumstances, your scheduling, your experiences of this college thing are going to change, and you are allowed to do it. You are allowed. You are allowed. You are allowed to do it. Whoa. I love that everything is falling. My mic is falling. All right. Hopefully it's y'all can still hear me okay. You get to make the changes because in essence, everything is there as a tool and is in service of you. I hope this lands. I hope you can have that resonate, that you get to actually treat this as an experience that's like, yay! Thank you so much for being here for me. Oh my gosh, there's all of these opportunities. There's an entire buffet of things that I can eat. Can y'all see that you wouldn't eat everything at a buffet because you'll get sick? But you get to choose. So now we've got this entire buffet that's laid out before me of people I get to be with, professors I get to choose, classes I get to try out, organizations I get to join, places I get to go, study abroads, whatever it is. There's a plethora of opportunities, and you get to run that by the filter of you. You get to run that by the filter of, is this something I want? Is this something I want to do? Is this going to be valuable to me in my life? I think so. And it even doesn't have to be that deep. It could just be, am I interested in this thing? Do I want to try it out? Amazing. Do it. And if you're like, can I actually do this about a job? Yes. Because a job ultimately can also be seen as a way of enhancing your life based on what your ultimate goals are, what you want to try out, what you want to do. Of course, most of y'all, and I know this because if you're in my circles, we're similar in this way, is that many of us want to provide value. We want to feel fulfilled in our jobs, or we want it to at least be purpose-driven or provide a service to people in our communities. Great. But guess what? It also gets to do that for us. It also gets to be experiences that we want in our lives to enhance our lives in some way. Maybe it's just monetary, and we need to make sure that we survive and put a roof over our head and eat really freaking expensive food these days. Okay, great. Still enhancing our lives in that way. Yay for staying alive and surviving. Maybe it's about trying this thing that you've always wondered about and wondered, maybe I should try that other thing that keeps nagging at me just so I can know if it really is for me or if it's something that I can let go of. That's enhancing too. Y'all, in my life, that was an example of this was real estate investing. I always had this little nagging thought of like, maybe I should be real estate investing. Maybe I should do this thing. I wonder if I'd be good. Would I really like it? All of these things are just like all humans should invest in real estate to make money. And so I invested in a way to learn how to do this just to see. And y'all, I hated it. I hated it. Now, I'm not saying that forever I'm going to hate it, but the way that I was learning, the things that I was learning, the people that I was working with, the people that I was learning from, everything felt off. It all felt off to me. And so after more heartache than I would like to admit, I was able to let that go and be like, ooh, real estate investing in this way, totally not for me. Move on. Now I know. Now I know. I learned things while I was there. I'll be able to take those into the future if ever I want to do it again. But I knew that in that moment in time, it is a no-go. Deep relief. How? How could that be a relief? Because I don't have to worry about it anymore. I get to put my focus into other things. Try out other things. Focus on the things that I actually do like, that actually do feel really good and don't have this like weird, like off, unsettled feeling. So here's what I will leave y'all with. If you are in college, going to college, university, wherever you are at on that journey, if you really believe and if you really think that this college, this university experience is valuable in your life, amazing. So happy for you. Please, at this point, start to think about what do you want the experience to be like? What do you want to prioritize? What is important to you? Because those all matter and those will all distinguish how you go through the next several years. Shoot. Or maybe figure out how to do it all in a semester and make that happen. All righty. Y'all are freaking amazing. Thank you so much for listening. I hope it provided you with a little different way of looking and seeing this experience that is yours and giving you a little boop on the nose to say, you actually get to do it your way. That this university thing that is like so higher ed, so hoity-toity, that you actually get to use it in a way that benefits you. That you get to treat it as a way, as a tool to enhance your own freaking life. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's there for. Okay, see you at the next one. I realize that we are at the beginning of our podcasting journey together. However, if you are already excited, already wanting to share this with people in your lives, already thinking that it would be beneficial to have these conversations on a more global scale, there are ways that you could support that. One of the main ways is to like, follow, and subscribe on whichever platform you are watching or listening to me on. You could always comment. I would love to know what you found helpful or interesting in any of the episodes. And of course, if you have ideas about what conversations, what topics you would like to cover in the future, please let me know. Again, this podcast is for you. Other ways that you can find me are on social. So I am on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at CL Amundson. That is at CIELLEAMUNDSON. Find me there, say hi, let's start a conversation. And if this is something that you think other people in your lives would love to be a part of, would love to hear, would love to be in conversation with, please share this with them. Thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you or having you at the next episode.